Hi guys, and welcome back to part 15 of our WinCC flexible tutorials. In the last video we added an alarm page and we added the button on both the alarm and the main screens to be able to flip back between the two screens. Today what we're going to do is cover how to set up an alarm. Now prior to starting this video, what I've done is created a DB block in my project, and opening that I have set up 16 bits in one word and set them up with emergency stop and alarm 2, etc. Okay, so we've done that, and what we're going to do is be using that data block within the WinCC. Now we have to be a bit careful with this, and we'll look at this shortly. Now go to your alarm page, and what we need to do is be able to create something to display those alarms. And if you go from simple objects, where we've been working lately, into enhanced objects, you see alarm view. If you click on that, drag and drop it into our page, we get ourselves a little screen to show our alarms. If you go into the properties of this, you see that part of the properties is alarms or alarm events, and pending alarms and acknowledged alarms, or unacknowledged alarms I should say, and that's what you're setting up to show. And you can set up the classes of what you want this particular object to show. Do you want it to show just errors, or just diagnostic events, or just warnings, or systems, or do you want to show it everything? And that's in the fact that you may, when you're creating a program and creating your screen, that if it's for the operators to use only, then you may only want to show the errors and warnings. If you have system faults, you may want to put that onto another page elsewhere out of the operator's reach, so it doesn't get too confusing, because any system, you can have quite a lot of messages on your system, so you may want to split them up and put system alarms elsewhere. Be your choice. For the time being, we're going to leave everything checked. Okay, so we've now created our alarm object, but we have to create our alarm messages. So if you go to alarm management, and at the moment we'll just deal with discrete alarms, we won't worry about analog alarms, those will be for another video. So double click your discrete alarms and you get a page up like this, and this is basically very similar to your text lists that we dealt with in one of our previous videos, where we created a list of items and that we could show them in one of our combo boxes. We're going to do a similar thing. So this list is going to be purely for alarms. So if you double click in the top corner there, you create yourself an alarm. Okay, and it gives it just an ID number, and if you put another one in, it will just increment the alarm numbers as they go. So we'll just delete that one for the time being. Okay, well, the text box, what's the text box? That is what text you want to show should this alarm be triggered. So we'll just put in emergency stop, and if we go back to our previous ladder and open up our DB2, this is the alarm that we're going to trigger it to. Okay, so when the PLC triggers that data block bit, that will send a message to the screen to say trigger that alarm that is connected to 0.0 in DB2. Alright, so we go back, and this is part of our trigger tag. Okay, we can add this to a class. Before I do the trigger tag, I should tell you that we can choose which class we want it to be. Do we want it to be as an error, or do we want it to be as a warning? Well, we'll leave it as an error for the moment, and remembering that when we went back here, this gave us the classes that we wanted to display in this one, so we're going to display the errors. Okay, the trigger tag. Trigger tag is what we're going to connect it to. Now I've already created one here, but I'm going to do it again just to show you. Okay, so click the new, and we'll call it alarms. Okay, we'll just I'll just put tag alarms. Okay, we've connected it to our PLC, which is going to be our connection 1. We need it to be a word because that's what we've got here. Even though we've got them as bits, we've got a full word worth of bits. Okay, go back to here. Then we go into the properties. We've got to tell it where it's going to look. What word are we looking at? Well, we're going to be looking at a DB. Okay, you have a choice: inputs, outputs, memory flags, etc. But our DB is DB2, and it's going to be word 0. Okay, so we'll just click OK on that, and that's basically saying that look at DB2 word 0, and word 0 incorporates everything down to here. Okay, now this gets a little bit confusing at the moment. If you notice now, when we've chosen our trigger tag, we've got trigger bit 0, but the trigger address here is showing db2.dbx 1.0, which is wrong. That's that one there. Okay, it's the way that WinCC have structured the bits against how the DBs do it in the Siemens S7 manager. So this will be bit 0, bit 1, bit 2, bit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and our word here is bit 8. Alright, we will deal with Siemens words and how they lay them out and how they structure them later, but for the time being we've got the 1.0 there, which is bit 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so we go back and we choose bit 8. Okay, and now you see that the trigger address is shown as the address that we want it to be. Okay, so we can now see if that works, and here we cross our fingers. Not really. We'll start up in the oh, I did the runtime. I apologise, sorry. Did I do the runtime? No, I should have just triggered the simulator. That's right. Sorry, my fault. I had done it. Right. Here we've got our main screen. We click the button and that takes us to our alarm screen. We've now also got up the simulator. Now I'm just going to open these up a little bit. What we're going to do is choose our tag first. Okay. Now we know our tag is tag alarms is the one that we set it into. The display format we're going to put into binary. Okay, so there's our current value. It's all set at zeros. So it's this data block is all set as zeros or false, which is correct. So we've got our minimum and our maximum values here as it shows you. Now one thing to don't get too confused with this, notice that in both the minimum value, maximum value and the current value, they've got them in blocks of 4 bits and there's a space between them. What we're going to do is simulate the value and put the value in ourselves, but we must put the value in without spaces. Okay, now remembering that this bit is our db2.dbx 0.0. so what we're going to do is I'm going to click into there and I'm going to put 1, which is our trigger bit, to send it high, 2, 3, and I'm now going to set all the other bits to 0. Okay, and you can see that we've now got our 16-bit word with that first bit in as high. Oops, did I do that? Oh, I've got it wrong, haven't I? Sorry, I've triggered the wrong bit. Hi guys, sorry about that. I just put that on pause a little. I got myself a little confused, and I think the camera software is slowing things down. But here we go. Okay, we've got our current value here, and we need to set our bit. Well, our word 0 is this word here, and word 0 is all of this. Byte 0 is this half, and byte 1 is that half. And the way that Siemens work it is it's bit 0, bit 1, bit 2, bit 3, bit 4, bit 5, bit 6, bit 7. So we're going from right to left in the byte, but left to right in the word. So it's word 0, that's 0 byte, and byte 1. But when we go to the bit, we have to remember to go from right to left in the byte. So bit 0.0 in our word will be 0, 0, 0, 4 zeros, and 0, 0, 0, 3, 1. Okay, so what we've got is in the first byte here, which is byte 0 in our word 0, we've got bit 0 is high, bit 1 is low, bit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 is all low. And then in the next byte, which is byte 1, we just need to set those to zeros. Okay, and if we hit, there we go. It gets a little confusing, and because of this I will make another video on words and the structure of the words of Siemens, because it does get a little confusing when you're looking at it from the WinCC perspective to the data block perspective. Okay, because they do it in a column 0 downwards, and in the actually in the WinCC they do it as word 0 and then from left to right, and then the bits go right to left, so be very, very careful on those. Okay, going back to that, we've seen now that we've got our message coming up. Okay, and you can set up all these properties of the text, the status, the date and the time, and message number. Okay, and various other things as well, and this you can use for login or anything else. All right, it's gotten a little bit confusing, is that one. I hope that's all right. If there's any questions, please please send a message to my inbox, and I appreciate if you can click the like or the not like if you will on this video. And any questions, just send me a message. All right, take care. I hope that's been a little bit useful. Watch it 3 or 4 times if you need to, just to understand those words and those bits, and I will make another video on words and the structure of them at a later date. Okay, take care for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.